Back to the Cobx Masters. We have a draft underway soon. There we go. Oh, I got a bit worried there for a second. All right, boys. First of all, I want to point out Tigers with the first ban on Shadow Shaman again.
Yeah,
Much, much needed.
smart.
Right?
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, smart, smart.
Is that Abaddon afterwards?
That is indeed
Yeah,
Abaddon
Abaddon.
and Venge. And then on the other side, we have Shadow Fiend, targeted at Dendi, and then Centaur, which they played earlier to great effect.
They first picked the position 5 NP themselves though. Now, I'm assuming it's position 5 because they always play that versus us. But
Yeah.
it can be a 4 also. So.
Okay. And also Tigers like to play it a lot as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it's kind of like a little counter. What do you expect Tigers to open up with, boys?
Anyone wants
Yes.
to go first?
Yes.
Yes. Interesting.
I agree.
Do you want to
Oh, you
start
didn't
safe,
actually think-
right, with the draft? I guess the Venge is not there. So there's your safest pick. I actually don't see the Leshrac ban. That could be an option for the Tigers. We have seen...
Leshrac
ones
is
that-
banned
is
by
banned, yeah,
Detonators.
but
You can't see
I
it.
actually
but
can't see.
I know.
Period. Yeah, exactly.
I got you. I got you. Let's recap.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
That is not what I was expecting at all.
That is not a first pick hero normally, is it?
So Raven is not on Terrorblade this match.
Maybe it's the old mid,
Like, it could be,
the
yeah.
old fake doodle, I call it.
Maybe this is to prevent the Terrorblade ban in the second phase,
Yeah.
and boom, pick it.
Exactly.
Which hero is next? Oracle?
Pardon?
Oracle? No, Earth Spirit.
Oh, Earth Spirit was banned in the first phase
Yeah, yeah.
of most of these games, actually.
Zephyr is like a really good Earth Spirit.
I am very excited to watch that.
Sven, eh? Seems like Detonator are going back for their kind of old style that we saw earlier in the tournament, where they just kind of group up at a timing.
This Sven is a versatile pick for them though. They play it on all 3 roles, 4, 3 and 1. So
Okay.
I think it's not showing too much in the draft so far, so it's good.
Is it to do with a timing push though? That they usually play around it with like?
I think so. Like if you pick NP, you want to go for objectives early on, right? So
Interesting. Looking at Tigers, well, they don't really have like too much counter push.
like the
so far.
Warcry is decent versus troll at till some point of the game, right?
Yeah, yeah, it falls off.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ban wise, let's see what comes out.
What do you
Well-
want to stop right now? What are the strategies that you're looking to stop here? If you're like you see Detonator, okay, somewhat of a push strat, maybe by kind of mid-gamey heroes that can have a solid laning phase. For Tigers, I'm not entirely sure what they were going for, to be honest.
It's a bit wild.
It is.
Honestly. Like I get the Earth Spirit, right? You want to be able to fight. You want to be able to roam. It kind of makes sense. But
This is the first time in this tournament they've gone with this opening also, I think.
Yeah.
Troll and Earth Spirit, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's the
Pocket.
first time I've seen Troll opening in a long time. Like
This hero usually gets run over by Bat Riders and stuff, so...
there's a lot of counters to it, right?
Razors, Bat Riders.
Do they want to pick up a Magnus with that? Do you think that's the path that Tigers are looking for?
I like it. Yeah.
I mean,
Still a
Dendi
ban
still
available
plays.
for Detonator though, so
We gotta say
Just
Dendy's mag.
Yeah,
Earth
Dendi still
Spirit
plays
is
mag in the mid lane. He's one of the few heroes that still, like, one of the few guys that still plays mag mid, and we've
Like
seen
in official games or pubs?
it. in pubs. And we've
Because
seen a
if
couple
they go for
official
a
games.
Magnus right now, I think the lineup is kind of passive because Earth Spirit is already 4 and that would make the Magnus 3 or 5.
I
And,
think Swordfish is
Mag-
saying it should be 2.
Yeah, I think it can. I mean, I'm not a fan of Magnus 2, but I think these guys can actually run it. It's not bad with the Earth Spirit either. I wouldn't usually suggest it, but I think Tigers are the kind of guys that could make it work with Troll. If you really want to run Magnus Troll, I think there are better options though. I don't think the Mag Troll is that good as it used to be. It's all right now. It's a bit different. The Troll's farming capability is not really the selling point because you don't push towers as early, right, anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have Fervor, but you don't have the Battle Trance that helps your whole team push. So you're much more of a kind of mid-game, get your items, and now you're a force of nature, nobody can stop
You
you.
take Roshan
Yeah, exactly.
and end the game
Yeah.
kind of hero.
it's kind of hero that needs to stay ahead of the curve, even more so than he used to be, I want to say. And you really need to time your ultimate, which is kind of finicky. And
That thing tilts the hell out of me. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah.
You're hitting a tower. You're like, all right, I guess I should ulti. All of a sudden, like some random support comes into vision, and you're just off chasing
Yeah.
them down the road.
That's-
That is the tilter.
What's scary here as well is Nature's Prophet Sprout is a surprisingly good counter to Troll, because once you ulti, you have no way to get out of the Sprout.
Oh, yeah.
So you either, I think the Earth Spirit might literally be so you can boulder smash him away and actually start hitting things with the Troll.
That's pretty smart.
My mind is baffled.
Next level plays.
All right, so Detonator banning out the bot themselves, actually.
Wow, Coddle.
Okay.
Keeper of the Light.
That's really
That-
good with Troll.
That's good. I think they'll send the KOTL in the NP lane to handle the summons. I thought they were going to go for an Oracle or something, but surprisingly they banned the bat themselves.
Luna. This is
What is this draft? Like,
Is that
This is-
Luna support?
what are we gonna see next? The DK? Like,
This is some new Dota.
it does feel like this feels like a DK draft, right? You pick Luna Sven. Like it feels like this kind of thing you'd play with your friends to end the game in 15 minutes. You know.
Battle Cup is soon.
Yeah,
Let's end the game soon.
Exactly. And then I look at Tiger's draft. Well, Coddle will help a lot with this kind of 5-man push strategy that Detonator have brought. If Detonator pick up one of these heroes that can get to the back line or like pick someone,
I think
pick someone off.
Detonator picks are kind of standard right now because I think they'll play the Sven as 4, NPS 5, and Luna as 1. And
Okay.
they usually just adjust the Sven and Leshtak is banned, right? They
Yeah.
usually pick like Sven plus 1 nuker in the offlane, and maybe it can be a Lina also because I've seen them play Sven Lina together in the offlane before also,
Interesting.
and
Yeah.
it's good versus Troll also in the laning.
It's a lot of magical damage
Yeah.
that you just can't deal with, right?
Sanking.
Okay, Sand King
A lot of magical damage now.
is
yeah.
really scary. It's difficult playing Luna into these situations where there's a lot of burst damage, especially in the early
Tigers
game.
did this earlier also in the tournament. That Sand King shoves waves, KOTL defending one wave, and you're getting pressured so much in the other lanes that you can't see the carry. It's like just shadow farming and stuff like that. So
yeah.
You have a lot of mobility as well on their catch this time. You
Yeah.
have the Sanking and Earthspit both being very mobile with their stuns, and even Coddle with the repositioning, and wow, drop.
Okay.
Okay, that's actually...
This is
This is the mates.
and
the
this is
mates
the
for-
Battle Cup game.
Exactly. I think Dragonite is actually their last pick.
Yeah, I
Yeah?
think DK
Yeah.
can be a thing.
Yeah, I would like that actually more than Luna 1 position, just to have that as a 4, max out the aura or some weird kind of thing.
Some Kuroki.
Yeah,
Some
because like
Yabzor,
I don't really like the
guess.
1 position Luna anymore. I don't think it really fits the meta because you always need that extra item, and you never really get to that point where you have the damage to really do things. Like, the Eclipse is just way too unreliable.
NP and Luna is 4 and 5.
I would say so. It's super greedy in its own right.
Do you want to pick Drow into a core Sven? Like with a core Sven on your team? I don't
No,
know.
no, no.
It doesn't make sense,
the
right?
Sven is not a goal for sure.
I don't know.
I like the DK pick. I agree with that. It's also
But
very
it can
consistent.
be a core also because of he can make the utility this game, right?
Yeah.
There's no other hero who can make utility, or if
You need a frontliner
and a frontliner also.
of some kind, right? Oh, look at that mouse hand. He looks ready for action there. Got a tight grip on that bad boy.
What is the last pick for Tigers here? And we see Detonator going for a very clear draft. What is Tigers? What do you counter with? You have really good lane clear, honestly, with what you have already. Really good deep push in general.
You know, I wouldn't mind the Ember Spirit. Bring that out again, honestly, just to deal with the wave push.
Oh, Razor.
That works.
Yeah.
It's the counter to troll, like you said earlier.
He's very consistent mid laner as well.
Who's the offlaner and Detonators?
It
Razor?
can be so many of them. It's actually
Sven
all 5
Razor
of
makes
them.
sense, right? Versus
Yeah.
Troll. Yeah, Sven Razor makes sense.
I mean, if the co-op wasn't banned, then there
Luna
would've been-
Troll in one lane.
Yeah.
they need the Sven to do a lot, right? If Detonator don't have a blink on Sven, how did they start a fight? Like a sprout, like a gush? Well, what's the gameplay here, boys?
Loosen beam, 1 second stun. Boom, let's go.
You know, like I find it hard. I find it hard to see it unless they do this whole, just take Roshan and get a really nice timing and just go hit buildings. It's going to be hard as the game progresses.
I think Tigers don't know what's their mid hero, so they can't even counter pick, right? That's the sad part.
I think it's fine if you go even for something like a puck, just something that's mobile that can get away from the Razor.
That's not bad, isally.
Into
Puck
the
is
Drow
into-
silence? I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
only a Drow silence. Like
Yeah.
after Yules, it's fine, right? Rest everything is projectile, so
Tiny. All right.
Tiny.
not bad.
Well, they are pretty squishy. Let's be real
They
here,
have a
boys.
lot of burst damage now.
Yeah. All right, who do you favor, lads? One at a time, starting with Swordfish.
I'm gonna stick with Tigers, man. They gotta win one game, right? So, yeah.
Logic.
Exactly.
Yeah, Detonator have a very weird pocket strat. Like, I don't really see that lineup win many situations. Only some very specific cases. So Also got to go with Tigers on this one.
I think DTN is not going to make it for their Battle Cup match. So I'm going to go with Tigers on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go against all you lads. Like Detonator's gonna win this game in 22 minutes, boys.
Wow.
22 minutes. It's
That's-
gonna be
How
over.
many seconds?
I'm not sure about that one. I'm not that accurate. Let's throw it over to Cap and Blitz for the grand final second game of the Cobx Masters.
Surprise.
That's right. It's Cap and Pi, actually. Welcome, Pi. Thank you for joining us for Game 2 of this Grand Finals between Tigers and Detonator.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Okay, so immediately we want to talk about that draft and that fourth pickup, the Drill Ranger. I know you actually like this quite a bit. You thought it was a cool little switch up they
Yep.
did, right?
I mean, I think it's cool. I don't know how good it is. We'll
I said,
see.
I feel like I hear that a lot from pro players when
Yeah.
they see a draft. They're like, "Oh, that's a cool idea," but then at the end they're like, "It's not gonna work," but it's a cool idea.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
What are you called? The Tigers, they picked up the Caudal Troll, which Boom ID, like in the C scene, is like a famous lane they do.
Mm,
You just spam man on this troll and he spam spells.
yeah.
Pretty easy to play. So I think the troll, I mean, the troll should be very fat, but I don't think they can stop the Drow from farming either. So, yeah.
And to
It's,
specify, we're talking about we have this Luna picked up, but it is going to be a 4-position Luna, which
Yeah,
we
that's what
saw
I expect.
before. It was originally, what, Yapsor, who pulled that out for Team Secret.
Yeah.
I think it was the very first one to do it in a pro match, and switched over, so we have the Drill Ranger now as our safe lane. So we're going to head into Game 2 as we're already reaching out. Do you have, like, now that you've seen the full 5-man, do you feel strongly one way or another when it comes to the draft?
I want to see the lanes first, but it depends a lot on how Dendy does mid here with the tiny.
Mm.
Like if you're a tiny specialist, I believe you can easily go even in this matchup. Maybe
Really?
even win. Yeah,
You can go even with Razor?
yeah.
Wow.
You just have too much damage.
Okay.
But like if you screw up a little bit, like
Yeah.
it's gonna like you keep sending salves. Like he gets a really good link on you, and then it can get bad.
And, you know, the panel already talked about it. If this Tiny is able to have a good laning phase, we're going to have him. I mean, there's so many squishy heroes on the side of Detonator. He could definitely start controlling the game real quick.
I'm just wondering, like when they group up here. No, I think like I kind of like Tiger's draft, but I really want to see this Drow Luna work out.
And it is going to be Fly Solo playing the support Sven. And we're going to have a core Furion this time around for Sam H.
Okay. Okay, so they're doing aggro with the Drow. All right.
That doesn't sound promising, your
no.
reaction to that one.
Now, I gotta be honest, I'm a little scared for them.
Mm.
But
It's just because the ease of execution, right? Coddle, Troll, it's just so easy to just spam out.
yeah, I feel that like this Earth Spirit is gonna have an amazing game. Like he's gonna be top for a bit, take it easy, you know, get a few levels, and then he's gonna pop down here, and they're gonna keep killing them. But I mean, like the Luna is supposed to be played with string heroes, right? Like that's the idea.
Yeah.
With the Lunar Blessing, so they have the Sven. He will be very tanky. Yeah, I don't think they can stop them from farming at all.
Feels like that's always kind of one of the big problems with. I mean, you saw the Troll picked up really early,
Yeah.
and part of the big reason why, right, is that he's so hard to pressure in the laning phase. Even though he's not like a Juggernaut Lifestealer who goes magic immune, just being able to stay ranged and get CS.
Yeah. No, I want to see what they thought here, DTN, when they're aggro here.
Lane is going to be pushing in. Looks like our mid lane matchup is, so far anyway, going to the way of Razor.
Oh.
Has a very early lead of 8-1.
Yep. I just want, like the other problem with putting Drow in these weird trilands is like she gets no levels, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you really want levels in these heroes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just like kind of a walking aura.
Yeah.
Dandy, cute little play, tossing back Ben-Hur to break the static link and using the tree to make sure he secures most of the CS in this wave. But and Zephyr actually looks like he went behind, pulled a creep wave.
Yeah, and now
Nice.
he got level 2 now, right? So he's rotating
Yeah.
bottom. And I definitely think Tiger's lane is way stronger here.
level 2 on Coddle as well as Trolls. So now it's just level 2s versus level 1s and a 3 versus 3. And Fly Solo has already been slowed down quite a bit. Gets the stun out onto the Troll, but finally the Earth Spirit's going to show up, gets the slow onto Fly Solo, and that is going to be your first blood for Zephyr. Just as you called it, Pi, looks like our Earth Spirit is going to have a pretty easy game.
Yeah, I'm really unsure why they did this. Maybe they've scrimmed this lineup and they're like, yeah, this is a strong lane right here. But I thought they could just trade free farm, you know, Troll for the draw.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe they get a second win there. Can do something.
It always feels kind of questionable once you lose that initial part of the tri-lane versus tri-lane. Like going back to it feels so bad. You're already behind in gold and especially experience.
Yeah, I mean, and one other thing about tri-lanes you have to think about is, like, you can go aggro with a losing tri-lane, but like if you have good one-on-one matchups, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we have to look at this Racer versus Tiny, and right now it's Eamon, right? But like we'll see how bad that turns out.
Yeah.
But like Prophet versus Sanking, right? Like the reason you don't do aggro as much is because of this. Like most offlaners can just pull the creeps, and then like it doesn't matter if you have a better matchup.
Right.
They'll both just farm.
Seen a lot of these offlaners, like the Centaurs with the double stout shields. Seeing Velo do it with Sand King, pulling into the neutral creeps.
Yeah, this is like Velo's favorite way to play, I believe.
Yeah. Another roll in, that's going to miss from Zephyr. Does manage to get a slowdown on RR with a big blast out from the Keeper of the Light. RR is barely going to stay alive here as the Orb of Venom is not quite enough to be able to take him down. Zephyr could try and go for another roll in. Tries to nail him. RR definitely dodges it. Very well played. He has another kick up in just 1 second here. Is he going to try for the long range kick? He could throw down another boulder, but I think RR has already healed up enough from the Tango.
Yeah, it's time to relax.
Still though, just being able to chase that support out has got to feel pretty good, especially when we have the Troll being able to push Skem back out of this bottom lane.
Yep. No,
Another
if you look
blast
at
in,
okay,
a roll,
okay.
almost lands on a Skem, and well, the little bit of shield from Sven will delay the death, but eventually he does fall.
No, because I actually was supposed to, about to say, like, the draw is even on CS with the Troll. Like, she's doing all right.
Yeah.
But this is going to keep happening. Like, anytime they get to go on him, like they get a slow with the Troll or he gets to roll on someone, they should be dead. So that's always a little spooky.
I mean, you're just looking at it like Luna, Sven,
Yeah,
support duo,
they
that
swapped,
just feels
they
so
swapped it
bad.
up. The draw was back top. Like,
Yeah.
it's done with that. I mean,
They got to secure Skem.
yeah, no, I mean, one thing that Alliance used to do, like maybe they should have thought about before they did the switch, is you let the Prophet get us at least level 6. And then you take his lane. So he would just like pop the ulti and TP mid or something.
We've seen that from like the mid-nature's Prophets, especially since the change of the Wrath of Nature, where it does less damage on the initial bounces, but much more on the later bounces. That it's incredible what this hero and the kind of impact he can have once he has that level 6. But Sam H is just a little shy for now.
Yeah.
He's gonna pop trees.
Luna tried to stack, and she died.
Another one of those classic rotations. The siege wagon's up, so you rotate in, see if you can get a kill. If not, at least you're gonna get some damage on the tower.
Yeah. No, the Prophet just needs to like, he just needs to find a space to be. The Drow kicked him out, so just moves mid. I don't know, let's see if the Sanking can pressure. Like, this is a recent Sanking like fell out of favor. Like, he just kind of sits there in the lane, and then yeah, like even a level 4 Drow is kind of farming.
Everybody's like, oh,
he's
does
2
manage
levels
to get
above. Yeah.
First strike in, slowed down. The Furion is able to catch him with the Sprout. Bella's gonna try and go for the TP, but
That was the Sanking trying to pressure it. Oh boy.
that's Sand King with like everyone's like, oh man, new Sandstorm. It does so much damage, but
No, you just have to click that guy. He starts with like 1 armor.
Yeah.
He has dice. No, there was a time there where people picked it a lot, and then eventually, like, oh, how do you counter it? But then, like, you pick any carry, and he has last hits every creep. That was kind of the counter.
Raven with Zephyr sitting on the side here, and just a Luna being left to this bottom lane. That's 3 range creep and a siege. That's going to be a lot of damage on this. Fortunately, there is going to be the Wrath of Nature that clears out most of it. And that'll help defend the tower.
Yeah, Samich is just trying to do whatever he can. Like, his lane got stolen, right? But, you know, farm some jungle creeps, hit some towers. One thing that kind of sucks, they haven't been able to stack any Ancients for the draw.
Oh, yeah.
But both teams are really good at, like, both, they try to pressure with the Catapult.
Dendy?
Nope.
Thought about it, doesn't end up going for the toss back here, and maybe that's for the best. I mean, it's impressive. It feels like Sam H doesn't have a home right now, doesn't really have a lane, but
Yeah.
all this pressure on mid is forcing a lot of rotations at least.
I just feel sad looking at the sacking. Maybe. Alright, there we go.
There we go. The epicenter coming out, Sam H. Oh, beautiful stuff. That's actually going to be able to separate them away from Sam H. He's going to be good, actually. Bellows tries to go for another bro strike with all that magic damage. Almost enough to be able to bring down Sam H, but it's still not enough. The Sven shield. What a beautiful toss from Dendy. That's a sick little play. Saves Bellows' life. They get to the shrine and will be able to heal up. They're good for now. The roll in of the Earth Spirit. And managed to slow onto the two of them, but another beautiful Stormbolt. Fly solo. Keeps on lining it up.
Radiant's top tower
Man,
is under
this Luna's
attack.
got to step up, start stacking. Come on.
Yeah, he's being real greedy right now.
Yeah, but you know, you look
How
at
is
his
he
level.
still level
Yeah,
3?
exactly.
What the hell? He's been like bottom lane solo for like 3 minutes now.
Yeah, no, Raven has played carry too much. He's denying every creep.
I was telling Blitz that. I was like, as an offlaner, like real good carries are like the definition of annoying.
Yeah.
They just always deny. They never let the creep wave push forward. They never give you any opportunity to get CS or any experience.
I mean, the thing with Tigers is they have some kind of cool things to wait for. Like they want the Earth Spirit 6 and the Caudal 6, but they're kind of far away from that. And I think Drow hits 6. Yeah, she's 6. So I don't know. I think we're gonna have to wait until the pressure comes from.
Bottom
Tiger.
lane, again, they tried to go for Sam H, but now it's going to be Zephyr who ends up falling. Raven still going to try and cut him. Cuts down the trees, managed to get onto Sam H, gets the ensnare, and that should be enough unless Sam H can somehow juke his way out of this one. Slowed down, though, by Raven. And now Raven's actually going to turn for more here. My Solo does have level 2 of the War Cry, so he's going to be pretty tanky to all this physical damage. Skem is just going to kite Raven around best as possible. Dendy's going to try and give him the space with that avalanche. The toss back, another good play from Dendy. That's actually going to put RR in range of the tower shot, but with Ben-Hur here as well, that is just too many members of Detonators. They get away, not losing their troll. And a lot of rotations from Detonators, really only getting that one support Earth Spirit.
No, you wanna. That's like I don't know if it's a good or bad one, but it's always cool to see the level 6 Drow TPing in for a kill. You know.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
Dire's top tower
She pushed out the lane, then she TP'd it down.
Radiant's
And
middle
she's gonna
tower
farm a stack.
has fallen.
Looks very nice.
And it created enough space for them to finish out that mid tower as well.
Yeah.
Loyal warrior.
Score Profit just rolling around. Meanwhile, Dendy, net worth wise,
Yeah. No, he
looking
went.
pretty rough.
Yeah, he went for 2 bracers here, which I don't know. Like he obviously wants to blink dagger eventually.
Yeah.
So like I don't know he's gonna be one-shotting this game. I don't really like generally like the panel said. Like being a Drow versus Tine is pretty rough. But if you're 5k net worth up, then it's not a problem.
Yeah, you just start outstatting him, and feels like he's just going to kind of miss his window.
He just needs that one haste run, you know.
That's true. Skem TP's up to the top lane, defending that tower. Seems like Detonators are going to make sure they don't give away any objectives for free.
Yeah. I mean, Tigers need to realize what they're waiting for here too. Like they're going for blink dagger and sanking, so
Dire's
that's
middle
something nice to wait for.
tower is under attack.
They need level 6 on Keeper, and they need level 6 on Earth Spirit. They're kind of close to everything. So after that, they should look for something. Don't stress out before that.
You prefer this build as opposed to Sam H's like tanky Sand King, where he goes the Vanguard pipe sort of build.
I mean, this is a very good Crimson game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I guess he clicked this tiny, and he's a little far. Like an early Crimson God would be nice, but I guess he's feeling too. Like he went up there and he died like twice. Ooh.
Good pick off there. That is Smoke from 1437 as well as Dendy.
Dire's
1437 is able to bounce back Ben-Hur here, and unfortunately for him, does not have a TP, and they're doing a good job keeping that courier on top of him, keeping the vision. They'll catch him eventually. So in the end, this ends up being a support for support, costing Tigers a smoke as well. But
No, I mean, if they deward that ward, it would be good. But you can see on the map, right, there are like 5 heroes there chasing a Kodo. That never feels that good.
Yeah, that's twice now. Detonators seem very willing to group
Yeah,
up and
commit
rotate
everything.
around for these kind of
Is
plays.
under
Yeah.
attack.
So we'll see whether or not the farm is going to make the difference here as the Troll trying to slow him down. Sam H is going to be slowed down by the axes, but he's going to be good. It seems like every single time this Sven, the support Sven, looks really good against the Troll
Yeah.
with the Warcry shield.
No, it's the same with the... Like, this is a very good Crimson or Magic
Yeah.
reducing game. I mean, physical reducing game. Okay, desperately. Okay, level 6 now, Kodo. Classic. 13 minutes in, but it's alright.
Finally gets to play a
Happens.
little bit more Dota than just
Yeah.
giving people mana.
I mean, this, you know, you see Drow, right? She went for the Hurricane Pike now. If she has Strength Threads, she's almost 2k HP.
Yeah.
And yeah, she'll live through some.
That is way out of the range of Tiny Burst.
Yeah.
And Velo, I mean, we saw this last game as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You try and defend towers, but not even your Sandstorm seems to be like super good at preventing that compared to like say the Tidehunter.
Okay, so then he went for Treads here. He's just attacking up.
Sam H is going to come in from
Alright.
behind with a dust. A cute little play. Starbolt
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well as the beautiful
Yeah.
Coddle. Look at that one with the
Yep.
blast coming in. The Luna pops her ultimate, does manage to get some damage back. Dendy, with all those stats, is able to survive through all that damage, and Ben-Hur ends up falling even as he stole away so much damage. The Urn actually doesn't hit onto the Luna and will not kill Skems, so the two of them are both going to survive here. Detonators barely walking away what could have been just a disastrous
Yeah, that could have been
engagement.
really bad, yeah. I don't know, the Earth Spirit was 6, right? So, that's what, because they dove right when they hit their timings. Yeah, the Earth Spirit didn't use his ulti, so that like, because they were fighting 4 on 5, right? Like,
Yeah.
Raven was just taking the tower, free farming. So overall, that was pretty good for Tigers.
This seems like the same song and dance for Tigers so many times is that they play a lot of 4-man Dota and just let Raven.
Yeah.
They just create a lot of space for him, let him play the hard carry who's always farming.
No, this should be an easier game for them to play, because like DTN's lineup doesn't like. I guess Prophet split pushes a bit, but overall, like their heroes, they kind of want to fight.
Yeah.
So Tigers will just they'll wait for their cooldowns and then they'll fight again. And
So the way they play with Raven, they would always kind of prefer to have the better late game and just let the enemy team be forced to make the moves.
Radiant's
yeah, I
bottom
mean,
tower
I think this is
under
just playing
attack.
good Dota though. Like
Yeah.
they just wait for their cooldowns and then they fight.
Oh, look at this. Epicenter going in, and Burrow Strike. Even though this Razor is tanky, he's not tanky enough to survive through all of this magic damage burst. And that'll secure bounty runes for them as well, in
Yeah.
fact.
Radiant's top
Yeah, because I
tower
think all
is under
DTN can do
attack.
now, yeah, they do this. Like you TP around, you split push on towers, you farm. Like they don't really have anything, like any moves to make.
There it is, the Blink Dagger. Not only just got the kill on the Razor, but it is able to make sure this Furion can't really pressure towers as easily. They don't get him, but they do get the Sven and fly
Yeah.
solo.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Taking the
Dire's
mid tower.
structures are
Okay, let's see
fortified.
here.
Detonators kind of feel like they're getting picked off a little bit too much. Is this where you start 5-manning when you see the Blink Daggers?
Yeah, but they really counter, right? Because they can't
Yeah.
fight them. That's the awkward part with their lineup.
So when is their timing to start 5-manning?
Exactly. I'm trying to figure it out here.
Uh-oh.
So they
That's
got
not a good sign.
They got the Vlad's Luna. It's way like if you look at Tigers lineup, right? It's way more simple to
Yeah.
like understand what they want. Like you just they have long cooldown spells, so you just fight when they're up, right? So yeah, this is the type of stuff that okay. 1437.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Ben-Hur.
attack.
Boosting down to this bottom lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They don't have a creep wave.
Yeah.
Can't pressure the tower right away, and I just keep on looking over to Raven, who's just making
No,
all these rotations.
they need to like they need to keep farming and then wait for them to mess up. Like that's the type of situation they're in.
Okay.
Because to fight, I
Radiant's
think
top
they
tower
actually.
is under
I mean, like the
attack.
Razor's not gonna get a BKB. He went for this Hood Athos. Because it's not
Dire's
looking like
top
they'll ever
tower
be able to
is under
fight really.
attack. Radiant's
I almost would have
bottom
preferred
tower is
the
under
Rod of
attack.
Atos first, just
Yeah.
because it feels like they have a lack of catch, right? Like
Yeah.
Raven is playing aggressively in all these lanes all the time because he's like,
Dyer's top
how are you
tower
guys
is
really
falling.
going to set up and kill me?
Yeah, he's just taking tower after tower, and they're not defending. Now they're trying to force this bottom tower. Yeah.
Tigers. This is some balls on them.
Yeah.
Not only taking the tier 2, but
Yeah.
also defending this tier 1. If it's successful,
Yeah.
the Detonators are just going to walk away with nothing, which is exactly what happens. They lose Fly solo. They don't get any tower in return. This is feeling worse and worse for Detonators by the minute.
No, this is like you have a lot of time now to think, right? So you just keep looking at your heroes like, I don't know.
There's like, every single one of the heroes, you're like, okay, what's the big
Dyer's
item? And
middle
you're like,
tower is under
I
attack.
guess it's Rod of Atos. Like, if that's your big item that turns the game around,
Has
that's
fallen.
you're not going to feel real good about this. Meanwhile, Raven had the Vlads, now has the SNY, is going to start working towards Diffusal Blade.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, right now I don't see how the fights work out for them. They just need a few more items. That's what they have to go for. Or like
Yeah.
Tigers, maybe they'll like do a weird Roche play or something.
So Denny with the stat builds, going for the shot. Maybe caught before he's able to grab it. TP coming in from Raven. It looks like Tigers are going to try and fight this one as best as possible. Detonators have already gotten the pick off on one, though. If they can catch Raven as well, it'd be really big, but the Rod of Atos isn't back up yet.
Yeah, this.
Oh.
Okay, let's see.
1437 coming in from the side,
Yeah,
the Will
yeah.
Wisp, but he just gets ripped apart by that Razor, who'd already stolen up so much damage. Zephyr barely managed to make it out as well. Bello went in with his epicenter, but everybody from Detonators
This is
so
what they need
tanky,
right
and
here.
this is not good for Tigers
I told you,
whatsoever.
right? I told you.
You wait for the mistake, and it looks like they found it. I cannot believe that Tigers went to Dendy's aid.
Yeah, no, this happens all the time.
Radiant's bottom tower
What is it
under
about that situation? Because from our perspective, we look at it, we say,
Yeah.
the game's easy,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you just need to be like methodical. But what happens is, like, you know you're winning, right?
Yeah.
And like, they do that smoke, like they're gonna get a pick off, and you don't want them to get that. You don't want them to get anything.
Yeah.
So you see, like, 147 is spamming him. It's like, don't let him do this.
Yeah. Don't let them just pick off
Yeah.
Dendy and get a little bit of gold
Like
back.
we're strong, but
But then it just becomes so much worse because
Yeah,
now
no,
it's
no,
not
you
just
see-
Dendy.
you see him running up the hill, right? And he gets two-shot by a Racer, and then he realizes, like, oh my god.
Oh my god, what
Oh,
have I
no.
done?
And now, you know, look at that. Now it's a game again.
Even game?
Yeah, because they they have way better fight rate on
Yeah.
Tigers, but now, you know, the items will catch up. They'll hit hard.
And it's going to look real bad if Sam H can actually complete this pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have the maxed out Warcry, so you're going to have such a big,
Yeah.
big shield of both physical and magical damage.
Yeah, and he's going BKB now on Racer too. Like if he just gets to drain this troll, like they can't really touch him.
Look at this. They're baiting out Sam H, I think, because I saw them smoking up and rotating over this area. I think they're trying to see if Bello will go on him.
Radiant's
Bello
bottom tower.
hasn't taken the bait just yet, but it's Zephyr who wrapped around and did kind of take that bait and gets caught for it. Sam H managed to get the kill on him. Looks like they're going to catch Dendy as well.
Yeah.
Once again, Detonators so smart in setting up these fights.
Yeah. No, I think Danny made a mistake too, going for the Shadow Blade. Over
You
Blink.
still would have liked the
The
Blink
Blink,
Dagger?
yeah.
Why is that?
I just don't see what he will do with the Shadow Blade. Like any pickups he gets with the Shadow Blade, he can get with the Blink.
Yeah.
I think it's just a way more comfortable item. Cheaper too.
Like, he doesn't need to feel like he needs to scale, right? You already have the troll.
I
Who's
mean,
going to do that?
I feel he even scales better with the Blink Dagger anyway.
Oh, really? Because that's always the thing I've heard about why people like to go Shadow Blade. It's like, oh, it gives me some stats. I'll scale a little bit better for late game. But
I don't know, it's like you need that Echo Saber with the Shadow Blade.
yeah, that's true.
Because you don't have any mana. It's just an awkward item.
21 minutes in, and for, I think, the first time in almost the entire game, Detonators do have the net worth lead and a rather large experience lead as well.
Yeah, I mean now they actually have some things to wait for. Like they'll get Blink BKB on the Drow, they'll get BKB on the Racer, and like they're all kind of tanky enough now to not die instantly. Because you saw what Tigers did there, right? Like they still know they're stronger, like if they get a proper fight. But they
Yeah.
end up with this weird, like, I don't know, the Earth Spirit is like going in by himself. They're fighting up the high ground.
You think it's about time that they do a proper 5-man, they bring Raven to
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fight?
they need to calm down and get a real fight. But you
Because
know,
if they don't do it soon, we're going to have BKBs
Yeah.
up, and fights are going to get real hard.
yeah, I mean now like they made the game hard for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that simple anymore.
It looks like they are going to start. They're going to smoke up, move on through. Sam H is going to be revealed here. This is going to be the pickoff.
Yeah.
Detonators.
Should just let him have this. Don't make
Okay.
mistakes. Yeah.
Detonators do not make the same mistake the Tigers did, right?
Yeah.
They didn't try and bail them out. They say, we're cutting our losses. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't cut our losses well
Oh.
enough. Oh no, Ben-Hur. It's okay to lose one core, but they're going to lose two.
Yeah, see, you shouldn't get that kill. Never, ever. Because like Tigers shouldn't feel good after that kill. Like they're 5 heroes down in their own base,
Right.
basically. But somehow like they lost 2 heroes and they're sitting together. So win for Tigers, you know. But still, BKB's coming up. Okay, Raven. Is Raven going for it?
It's going for what?
Going for the Roche.
Oh, he is.
Dire are scanning.
I like this. Put some pressure on them.
The
I
Lucian-
don't think didn't use a lot of spells, right? So they have like everything up.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they used almost everything. Never mind. They have Caudal too.
Yeah, no epicenter, no Earth Spirit ultimate.
Yeah.
They just felt like they had the timing.
It's a
They
good
may be
timing.
right. Detonators gonna move forward here. They spot Dendi, but Dendi is only one thing. It's the Roshan that's really a big problem here. Nice. That is a beautiful Will-O-Wisp coming out from the Caudal. That's gonna be a stall things up, and that's really all he needs to be able to protect his core, even if he dies here. The space is all important, but Raven did not finish up that Roshan. Had to back outside of the pit, feeling that pressure.
Because I feel in this situation they should be able to force the Roche. I don't know. Though. It's probably better TS back off. I might just throw the game completely. Because the game is going to be very different when they have their BKBs. Like it's going to feel really hard to fight.
So Detonators, all they have to do is control the pit. Once they have the BKBs, then maybe they can force Roshan. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think they need to force it, but then they can force a fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they have Blads though, so they could also just go into Roche. Like the second they see Tigers out of position, they can just go in there.
Right.
They kill it pretty fast.
There's BKB number 1. If you're in the position of Tigers,
Yep.
you're seeing like, oh, this item timing is coming up. Are you feeling like
I mean, you're
pressure to make the play before the BKB is coming up?
At this
or-
point, it's switched completely. Now Tigers
Yeah.
are feeling really bad.
Okay.
Like, if you click the Furion, for example, like he has his pipe right, and now he's just waiting
Yeah.
for this Crimson. And like when he gets those two, they'll feel really good.
Oh, look at him. He's being loaded up with items. He's going to teleport in
Yeah.
and bring the BKBs for both Ben-Hur
Yeah.
as well as Skim.
So now Tigers are kind of in the same. Like, and he went travels and Sanking too. So like his net worth is.
Oh, and what a beautiful smoke this is. They're going to run into Raven here. Raven's going to be silenced up. He may not be able to save himself with the battle trance here. He may just fall, and sure enough, he does. Fly solo, and going to be able to block Zephyr as well. Make sure he cannot roll away. That is 2 dead. You can see Skem. He's already trying to tilt 1437 as they know they have won the fight, and they're just going to catch even more. With Dandy's going to fall as well. You said you got the timies, you got your BKBs, you got your pipe. Take a fight, and from there, you can Roche at your leisure.
No, when people just it seems so simple when you watch it, right? But in the game, it's way more intense.
Much harder to make those kind of clear calls.
But they did everything they had to do. Like they got the items out fast, and then they smoked for a bounty run.
Yep.
Then like obviously Tigers were a little sloppy, but it was a good play, really good play.
So what's your game plan now as Tigers? You see Aegis picked up, you saw the BKBs. You're just playing split push from here on out?
Yeah,
High
now
ground
you're in the
defense?
same position. You have to wait for them to make a mistake. Like you have some ultimates, so you can kind of do something. But they have the the get out of jail card, right, the BKB. So they just press that. But yeah, you gotta like push out the lanes and farm as efficiently as possible. It's kind of all you can do right now.
Already level 20 on the Drow Ranger.
Yeah.
So we've got the extra 3 seconds of Gust. That's a 9-second silence.
Yeah.
Jesus, I did not realize it went up to that high.
Look at her now.
That's crazy.
3 levels above everyone else.
Skem is also very tanky, not just with the BKB, but 2200 HP.
Yeah. No, the DTN are feeling like they can almost run wherever they want.
Yeah. But Ben-Hur managed to get out the BKB in time. They didn't chain stun him in time, and now he's going to be able to drain all of Denny's damage and turn that into the support. 1437's already dead. Raven has to run back to the base here. Velo does manage to blink before the damage tags him. So he'll be okay for, whoa, Velo. Got a
No.
little anxious there with the button clicking. But it will be the tier 2. I mean, Tigers just looked like they were trying to catch Detonators by surprise with whatever kind of weird team fight that
they
was.
like no respect right here. Let's go high ground.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Sadly,
Velo, these 4 staffs are doing a lot to make sure
Radiant's
that
top tower
Tigers
is under attack.
are not getting picked off more than just 1 or 2 heroes at a time. But losing later Brax this early is going to feel real bad.
another sad thing about like no blink on Tiny, right, is you can't do these cute, cool plays.
Radiant's
You
the
can't
toss
do the
back,
blink toss back, yeah.
A lot of utility just disappears.
It kills a lot of your high ground defense now that you say that.
Because right now, like even if like the troll getting BKB doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
It's still gonna get linked.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
No, this is a this is a hard position to be in.
All right, Pi, you're captain of Tigers. You're in this situation. You got to craft the game plan. What's your call?
Radiant's middle
What do you
tower
look to
has
do?
fallen.
I mean,
Is it still just
Dire's
high ground
bottom
defense and
tower
wait?
is
Because
under
that
attack.
it looked like they just don't have a way to actually defend the
yeah,
high
a
ground.
bit, right? Like you have to
Radiant's
watch
top
out for the
shrine is under attack.
the Roche respawn.
Okay.
Then I would probably ask my Tiny, like he's 2k gold now, so like skip the
Dire's
BKB,
bottom
let's go
tower
blink.
has fallen.
So like hopefully they can channel epicenter, go on someone, instant stun, and then like the Tiny comes in.
Roll in from
They first.
Zephyr trying to bail out Raven right now, who's silenced for so long. Couple more shots from the Drone Ranger is going to be able to slow him down, but eventually they're just going to turn and kill Velo instead. So it looks like they did manage to keep Raven alive. Raven
Yep.
being a bit greedy there, just farming the extra bit of neutrals on his way out. And if he's not careful, he may get caught for it, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They have a Crimson Guard coming up, that's like a bit of a timing.
Radiant's
Yep.
bottom shrine is
A
under
lot of these
attack.
BKBs though won't do anything for them. Because the damage, it's like Draw Ranger and Racer popping BKB, right? And then they just hit people.
yeah.
So like your own BKB, it's not gonna do too much.
Jeez, look at that Razor with the
Radiant's
Drone Ranger
bottom
aura.
shrine has fallen.
That actually makes Razor so much scarier.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom
Because he can
tower
gain the
is under
damage off his
attack.
static link. All he needs is attack speed from there.
Yeah. No, now this lineup
Radiant's
is like
bottom
working
tower
beautifully.
has fallen.
Because like if you look at Tiger Series, like he's definitely gonna get a good drain off, and then he's just gonna whack,
Yeah.
whack, whack. Here we go.
Another high ground push. Detonators are losing no time whatsoever. All that damage being drained away from Raven, and it just turns it into that tier 3, and it's just dropping so fast. They try and prop the Crimson Guard, but it is only delaying the inevitable, it feels like. Maybe it'll protect the melee racks, though, as it seems like Detonators are running out of steam a little bit.
Yeah, then they're playing like everything correct now. They back up, the boundary runes are out, and like the link was about to go.
The seeds of fortune.
Get all 4 boundary runes. Like, you know, they're feeling it. They feel like they have it in the bag.
I really like the fact they just went high ground despite, like, they could have waited for Shivas on the Razor,
Yeah.
but I mean, they don't need to, right?
Yeah.
They're so much more powerful. They recognize this timing, and they're trying to take full advantage of
But
it.
then they did pick up the dagger now, so that's something. That like at least that gives them an opportunity to do.
Yeah.
Like because the Drow can still die. Like if you get the shadow and epicenter on her and then you combo her, she will die.
Scotty up next for the Drone Ranger. We have the Shivas for Ben-Hur.
Yeah, they got everything. They got the pipe crimson. It is still possible to hold. Like if DTM pop their BKBs like at bad timings,
Yeah.
and you get to kite them a little bit.
An extra 10 armor for the Razor as well with that 20 talent. It feels like a lot of this is going to come down to Dendy and what kind of initiation he can get here with the toss back.
Yeah, you want to get him back. You want to make them waste their BKB. Here we go.
Jumps in, Ben-Hur, it's going to toss him back straight into the beautiful Burrow Strike from Bello. They chained that very well, but they didn't get the follow-up there. 1437 doesn't manage to get the Will-O-Wisp out in time. And now, well, one BKB down, but Scam has popped his BKB. He's laying all that damage into Dendy. Dendy barely makes it out alive. But Raven may not be as lucky as Ethereal Blade just wipes him out. A good epicenter out from Velo, but it's not enough to actually kill any of these heroes. And 1437 just calls it. Crazy game two. Detonators just 2-0 Tigers, just like that. I mean, it was a grind in game one, and game two they come out with this special draft, make the swerve of the Luna into the Dro Ranger, and it looked a little hairy there. In 15 minutes, but
no, it's funny, right? Because like for me, Tigers were like they had it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's early to say, right? It's only 10 minutes in, and but they had a 4K lead, I believe.
Yeah, it felt like it was like, oh, we got late game advantage. You know, it feels like they don't really, not going to reach their time. It's just that one fight.
No, yeah, you mess up once, and then like you kind of half mess up once more.
Yeah.
And you're in a hole. You just can't do much.
Do we just have to keep stalling until Sage answers? Watching throughout this tournament, what do you think about seeing both Detonators? I mean, being able to take out Tigers, obviously, quite the feat, but watching some of their other games, what do you think about them as a team?
No, like after the first best of ones, like to me they looked like the favorite of the tournament. Like obviously it was like probably too early to call, but they did end up winning. So like they just looked really solid. Like Skemberloo is a very good player. Very good carry player.
It was a little disappointing with that whole complexity, and when he was on
yeah,
there,
no,
he was just like,
he got into a sticky situation there.
He looked like such a great. He was like, oh man, this is gonna be the new star, and it's nice to be able to see that he has found a home in Detonators that can win tournaments.
No. Like I didn't catch the end of the first game either, so.
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, this is the time where I know you haven't really experienced this, but sometimes we just get these situations where you're just supposed to like stretch things out.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's fine.
what do you think about the tournament? I know you were watching.
Yeah, I watched quite a bit of it.
You were hanging out.
No, I
enjoy
think
yourself?
especially Tigers, like they actually did get better during the tournament.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not good enough, but like I thought their first game they looked very shaky, and then like they built on that. At the end of the day, like I think this DTN, like they might be a little more hungry, like a little more battle ready.
Yeah.
And it showed.
It definitely felt like through some of the talk, like people like Fly Solo, felt like he had something to prove here against Tigers.
No, a lot of those players have been playing. Like Fly Solo, for example, like that guy's been playing for a long time, and he's always been a like decent player, you know.
And having just played so much in Southeast Asia recently, it's so much competition. Going on in that region, right?
No, and he got some good core players now. Like Ben-Hur has been good for 2 years now, I believe.
Yeah.
Like he's very skilled.
You feel like he just hasn't really.
No,
he's been sort of a hidden gem 2 years ago, and
yeah, a little bit of a hidden gem. I mean, he probably has this like I never played with him, but I guess maybe he's a bit too quiet sometimes. That's just my guess.
Right.
Like he won't call his matchups correctly, but overall, like those two are like, they're like he can beat anyone mid, you know, that guy.
Yeah.
He's very skilled, and Skemberloo the same way. Like you just see, he plays with a lot of confidence, and it shows.
All right. Well, hopefully we're going to be going to our stage here. Is a nice 2-0 for Detonators. Want to be able to give them that
trophy. Can you
trophy.
tell me about the ending of the first game?
The
I went to the
ending of the
bathroom
first game.
because I thought Tigers had it.
So Pi actually he was watching the entire game, and then he just goes to the bathroom, which is the very end of that game one.
Yeah.
That game one, we had it was just came down to like one fight with Aegis, Refresher Shard, Cheese, and just the first time that Velo died in the entire game. He gets one Ravage off, but he got swapped. I think he got Spirit Vesseled, maybe during, like he couldn't pop
he
Cheese
couldn't blink
because of it.
Oh, Cheese, okay.
And he dies, buys back, and tries to run in. But at that point, you've already lost kind of all your momentum, all your damage is gone.
No, because that game looked. I mean, you can kind of take that situation and put it, but like earlier in this game, where I think Tigers like they have a very clear path to victory.
Yeah.
But they don't keep on it. And that game, like that was a long game, right? Like it was 45 minutes in or something. But I think like it looked like they knew their path, but then at the end of the game, like they divert. Because both the games they had these like these periods where I think they kind of give it away, where they're sticking with something and then they break it, and they end up losing because of that.
I always like to see in these series where both the teams, like, we saw Detonators basically be able to hold high ground and play the late game, and then in this game, they just also managed to take the early game. It goes to show, like, they've got the wealth of strategy to be able to take both sides of the coin.
Yeah, no, they have a good core understanding of how to pressure. Like you could see, like their aggressive trialing was a disaster, obviously, and then they knew what to do. Like he just had to recover, and then Sam H is experienced. He he just goes and does something else.
Do you feel like that's one of the harder ideas to get as a team to figure out like how to recover from bad lanes?
Yeah, not only bad lanes, but like when you don't have a clear, because they didn't have a clear thing to aim for. That's the hardest when you play like you're losing. Like you're playing losing, and you don't really know what you're aiming for.
You don't have like this timing that's coming up in 2 or 3 minutes.
Exactly.
And you're just like, how do we do something? And they
you
found
still,
a way. They
you still have to play Dota, And they did. Like they smoked, and then Tigers messed up, and then they're back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you have to do. You have to hope for the best, and sometimes it works out, like it did here.
And that's the thing, right? It's like Dota is like such a complicated game. It's always a game of mistakes. There's always going to be that opportunity. It's very rare to see a game where a team just flawlessly, wins their lanes, doesn't make any mistakes.
Well,
wins
usually
every
that's
fight.
like when you see these tier 1 teams, like Secret MVP. Like the games they win, they just they do their stuff and then they stomp them. And then if they're losing versus worse teams, they just play. And they're very good at keeping their cool.
Get one last good look at these guys. Detonator, the winners of the Cobx Masters LAN.
Squeezing for the pictures. You gotta look great. No, don't be shy. Come here. Smile, guys. Smile for the camera. Come on. Go. It's all yours
If you walk
today.
towards the trophy.
Please give it up for
yes, you'll have to
Detonator, everybody.
Yeah, show the crowd the trophy. Oh. Can we get one last hurrah for these guys? Detonator are the winners of the Dota segment of the Cobx Masters LAN. But we still have one more segment to go, one more match after for CSGO. So stay tuned, don't leave your seats. Yeah, CSGO, shoot! It's one last best of 3 to decide the second winner of the tournament. But before we get to that quickly, if you can just get one last word from you, Mr. Captain. How do I get to be as good at you in Dota? How do I improve? And what's your secret, man? How'd you win tournaments?
We're just having a teamwork, synergy, chemistry, all of that.
There you heard it. Team synergy, chemistry, and a good heart. Come on, guys.
Once again, guys, we are Cobx 2019 Dota 2 Grand Champions